What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's the Dadbod Golf Pod, episode 128.
You say so.
We're back again. It's Monday. Your weekend's over. We're ready to get the week started.
Hey, by the way, if Kyle's not able to put this together and you totally wonder what's going on, it's because he screwed up at the beginning of it. Just going to go ahead and throw it out.
We're good. I got mad editing. I got mad editing skills.
You got skills. Let me see that shirt. That the shirt.
Red is for Sundays, and we're recording this on Sundays. So this is a t-shirt from Swannies. So
check it out. I get a text from my dad. He said, "Are you missing a red is for Sunday shirt?" Because I keep going back and forth the red level.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, yeah, because the only people that have that are me and Kyle. So it's
innate.
It's innate. So it's definitely got to be mine unless one of y'all have stopped by red level. And I
it
said,
feels good. I don't know what brand t-shirt it is, but it just feels good.
Oh, it's super soft. And so I told him, I said, yeah. He said, well, it's here at the house. And I said, well, I've been blaming my wife for like the last 2 weeks for not being able to find that shirt. So,
yeah.
And he goes, well, it's not her fault. I said, she doesn't know that. You keep your mouth shut. So I'm going to keep ragging on her and saying, hey, where's that shirt?
I got one of those moments. I'll tell you about it in just a second. So, but today is we are proud members of the Believe Podcast Network, the number one podcast network for professionals. And today's episode and every other episode is brought to you by Betonline.ag, the number one sports betting website in the country. Log on today, use coupon code BLEAV, BLEAV, and you'll get a 50% welcome bonus. You give them $100, they're going to give you $50 back free to play with. You got playoffs, NFL playoffs, golf, tons of basketball every single night. You can literally bet your whole life away on basketball. I mean, it just rolls through here. Basketball season is awesome because it's literally every single night.
Basketball season's awesome. And let me tell you what else is awesome is old Benny Boy grabbing about 250 off the blackjack table last
Let's
night.
go.
That's what else is awesome.
Stacking it up. They got the online casino too. Betonline.ag, where the game starts. Then I got a story kind of like that too. So we went and visited my parents a couple of weeks ago, and I have like one of those supercharger phone chargers. It's like got the fat plug where it'll charge your phone in like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. But anyway, love it. Took it to my parents' house, and it was not in the place that I left it, like where I was using it. And
are you one of these people too that leave it in the same place every single time?
No. I took it to my parents' house. I plugged it in the wall in the bedroom that we're staying in, and it wasn't there and went to pack. So I was like, I must have packed it in my bag. I must have put it in my bag. And I was telling my wife, like, I think we must have packed it in the bag because it's not in the wall where I left it. So get home and it's not in the pack. We're not packed. So I'm completely blaming it on her. I'm like, look, it's there. It was there where it was in the spot where I said it was. It never moved. So if I didn't move it, someone had to move it. It had to be you. And she's like, I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it. Well, my parents come to visit this weekend, and they bring me my charger because I had moved it to the kitchen and totally forgot that I moved it to the kitchen. So I had to apologize for that one. That's never good.
My wife and I got into a similar argument actually earlier today, where she talked about how I leave little piles of stuff around, whether it be clothes or whether it be technology, like you're talking about. But the thing is, all of it's related. Like in that pile, the computer will be there, the chargers will be there, phone chargers there, all the technology stuff will be right there. My earbuds, everything. And I said, well, the funny thing is, you complain about that with me. I'm the only one that never has to hunt for anything. I know where all my stuff is.
It's in pile 2.
I was like, you're constantly like, where'd I put this? Where'd I put that? Where'd I put this? I'm like, if you had a little pile.
You had a pile system. I'm a big pile system guy too. That's
big organizer in the piles.
Yeah, that's a closet floor pile. Definitely. That's where those that belt is. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Guys, this weekend was the first tournament of 2022 that was in the continental U.S.
On the mainland.
On the mainland, as the kids like to say. It was the American Express. It's just literally called the American Express. It's not an Open. It's not an invitational. It's just
not a tour championship. It's not American Express TC. Nothing.
It's just the American Express in La Quinta, California at PGA West. And it was there's not many tournaments like this where it's a number one, it's a 3-day cut. So you play 3 rounds and then they have the cut for the final round. And they play 3 different courses. So you'll play, obviously you'll just play 3 different courses and then they make a cut. So that's really, really different. I don't see a whole lot of stuff like that. No. I know at Pebble Beach, when they do the Pro-Am, they just play 2. Do they play 3 there or do they just play 2? Spyglass. And is there another one they play?
I think it's just 2.
I think it's just Pebble Beach and Spyglass. Is that all they do?
I think so. I think that's right. I could be completely off base. I will say this. I don't mind the 2-course system when they do that, because that just means the field is going to be huge and you're going to usually get a pretty good tournament out of it.
Yeah, they do 3 at Pebble Beach.
I don't like the 3-course system.
Yeah.
And
I don't like it for TV coverage because you can't really get to know the course. You know what I mean? Like you're just jumping all around. You have no idea what's going on.
Well, and clearly they didn't do it correctly, because today when I was watching, which by the way, it is going to be proven so, Kyle, we said this, how this will be awesome. The ESPN Plus coverage has been.
Oh, it's spectacular.
I mean, they're on the West Coast they were on the coast, but still they were in California, La Quinta, California. I'm watching golf this morning at 9:30.
It's amazing.
You never get to watch golf at 9:30 when they're on the West Coast. But you know why you do? Because ESPN has stepped up their game and they're covering all the golf.
Got that Disney bundle, babe. Got
no
ESPN
doubt.
Plus. Let's go. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm with you. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And
clearly they didn't do, though, with the 3-course deal. They didn't cut enough people because there were still people going off of 10 this morning.
Yeah, it's just
and
really
I'm like,
weird.
What are you doing? Like you play 3 courses, then you get to the final day after you have your cut, and you still got people teeing off of 10 to begin their round. And I'm like,
I wonder why that was, because it was only 70. It was still 70 guys. So I wonder if it was surely it's not a daylight thing or a TV thing. I mean,
no, can't be. No, I mean, they teed off at like, if they were teeing, if I'm watching golf at 9:30, that's 7:30 their time, because they're 2 hours behind us. So, I mean, the fact that I was watching golf at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, I just was not.
They were trying to get some bros out of there, weren't they?
Yeah, I'm not a fan at all of. If you're going to have a field that big, you need to be able to work it where everybody can enjoy it. Because you're right, there was a lot of times on Friday night late. I told you I traveled this weekend, so I went down Friday night and I was able to watch the replay of golf because they had it on in the evening, and I didn't have any idea what course I was watching.
Yeah,
because they don't do that. I will say they don't do a great job of putting it like up in the corner, like this is the course you're watching now. And the announcers don't. The announcers just like, let's go to 10. Okay.
Or they'll do that, or they'll
what number 10 are we doing?
Or they'll just put the like 2-letter abbreviation by their score on what course they are. Pebble Beach at the Pro-Am, they play obviously Pebble Beach, and they play Spyglass and Monterey Peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another one where they'll jump around. And you have no idea what's going on. You have no idea what course they're on. Because I couldn't tell you one hole on Spyglass or Monterey. But then when they go to
tell you on Monterey. I can tell you on from my buddies that have been out there. Apparently, Spyglass is like one of the hardest to get on.
Yeah.
By the way,
that's probably the hardest too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's the toughest. So I mean, we wouldn't know. We're not born with gold bricks up our butt like some
one day
are, but whatever.
One day. So talking about the actual tournament, Harris English wins by 2 shots. Oh wait, not Harris English. No. Hudson Swafford.
Hudson Swafford.
Same guy, whatever. Hey, have you ever seen them play in the same tournament?
I have not. They didn't play in the same tournament today.
There you go. It could have been Harris English for all we know. But Hudson Swafford.
Gone with it.
Hudson Swafford. I did that on purpose. I was pretending.
I know you did it on purpose. I knew as soon as you said it, I was like, "Oh, here he goes with that joke again."
No, but I mean, Harris went ham last round with 9 shot 8 under with an eagle and a bunch of birdies, 2 bogeys. He had 2 bogeys and shot 3 bogeys. Bogey the first hole, 3 bogeys, still shot 8 under. So go add that up. that would have been a 59er right there. Or no, not quite. It would have been 3 bogeys. So I guess just take 3 shots off of what he shot. So it would have been a 61. So that's pretty sporty. I love it. I love to watch a dude go deep on Sunday to come back and win a tournament. That's always cool.
I like watching that. Another thing I like watching because it makes it like normal people. I didn't even tell you I was going to bring this up. So I'm watching this morning, and this guy is playing with John Rahm, Davis Riley. He's an American. I don't know who he is. Never seen him before. Probably been on tour for like 10 years, and I have no idea. He goes OB on the first tee ball.
Yeah.
So he starts.
Was it Lipsky? David Lipsky.
No, it's Davis Riley. Davis Riley, because he ended up.
I got him now. Okay.
He ended up shooting a 78 on the day.
Oh boy, he did.
After tripling 1.
Oh.
After doubling 9, back-to-back doubles, he doubled 9 and then doubled 10 because he did start on the front. And then he capped it all off with a bogey finish on 18 for a smooth 78. And let me tell you something, Kyle. I'm like watching it this morning. He had a 7 on that opening par 4. It felt like it was an 11 because he goes OB, he re-tees, he gets down the middle of the fairway, he misses the green, he chunks his chip shot, like something that you and I have rarely done, like in the last probably 5 years. He hits easily 3 inches behind it, and it moves every bit of about 6 to 7 inches. And he's on a flat. It is a downhill lie, but there's like no rough. Like this is an easy course. Like he should have putted. It's what he should have done because it was a flat area. And then he looks at his caddy like his caddy did it. And I'm like, bro, that's all on you.
Do better, bro. Do better.
Yeah, that's got nothing to do with you. What are you looking at him for? He didn't chunk it 6 inches. That's you.
But when you do that, you don't know what to do. You just kind of just look around. Aimlessly.
No, you're a professional. You have no idea what to do. So you're just like
did the earth move? Like what happened? Because it couldn't have been me.
So then he decides to actually putt from the rough, which he should have done the first time. And then he runs it by about 10 feet. And I'm like, this guy's going to easily have a snowman or a 10 or an 11 or something on this hole. And then he ends up draining that triple from about 8 feet.
Oh, wow. He drained an 8-footer for triple. So it's a nice little triple bogey save. Nice.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's how his day started. And I thought, well, that sucks for a Sunday. Poor guy.
Yeah. You're just at that point in time, you're just like, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Give me my check for 20 grand. And let's go to the next site. Yeah.
Let's go jump on NetJets.
He had the opposite day. He had the opposite day of Harris English. Yes. Hudson Swafford for sure.
Zalatoris had a pretty good day today. He had a chance to make a push late. He had back-to-back threes on a putted in on an eagle on a par 5 and birdied a par 4 on I think it was a 15 and 16, and then had a real good look at birdie. If he would have birdied out, he would have made a run at Swafford at the end, and he parred the last 2, so he didn't do too well. So those were some notables. Auburn guy Duff, Jason Duffner. I told you in the notes he had a hell of a back 9 today. And shot 30 on the back.
Sweet. He needs it, man.
So good little momentum to carry him over. Would have shot 29, had basically almost all birdies and a bogey on the back. So
wow.
He had his card looked really weird. And then Patton Kazire, he had himself an ace today.
Had a little 1.
Yeah.
Love it. And
good bounce back because he bogeyed the opening hole with a 3-jacker from about 12 feet. So that he was about 12 feet away and he putted another 12 feet away. I don't know what
that happens.
I think the line was fine.
Yeah.
Speed's a little off.
The towards was good. It was the speed that got off.
You always know when you see a pro golfer that is quote unquote still away, they've hit a pretty bad putt.
Oh, that's the worst words ever. You're still away.
Yeah, so he got to reset and still miss. So he had a 3-jacker on the first one, and then a couple of holes later, he has an ace. And it's like he even said they caught him on like a hot mic, and he said something like, "I can't putt at 12 feet, but I can hit it 189 yards in the hole. That's awesome."
Yeah, exactly, exactly. One thing I was kind of shocked by, and I was like, this guy is going to hit the ground running, and he's going to be the number 1 player in the world. And he still finished top 10. But Patrick Cantlay started out like gangbusters. He was 10 under on the first round. He shot 62 on the first round, and then he shot 4 under on the second round. And I was like, and I think he was tied for the lead or like right there around. I think, or he may have had solo lead. I don't know. And then he just shoots even par and he's out of it. He shoots even par on Saturday and he's just out of it. And then he came back and shot 68 today to get a top 10 finish. But I was like, here we go. Patrick Cantlay is about to just take over, and he's going to end up being the number 1 player in the world. And it still could happen. It still could happen.
Our guy Henley Saturday. See, that's that 3-course thing. They must have played the toughest course on Saturday. Russell Henley did the same thing.
Yeah.
Started out on fire, didn't have a great Saturday, shot 5 under today, and still only ended up at 14. So he tied for 14th as well, right there beside John Rahm, that's pretty good company to be in. Yeah. And then you got Duff. I talked about tied at 40th, and then the guys that I starred that we talked about, Pat Perez that Nate took, he got cut. He got cut at 6 under. How about that?
I don't even, who did I take? I don't even remember.
I took Finau. I can't remember who you took. I took the Tropic Thunder. And then did Colonel Steve take? Didn't he take Kazire again? Maybe not.
Not sure. I think he actually took Cantlay.
I think you're right. He did take Cantlay.
Yeah.
Nate's pick, Talor Gooch. Well, he took Perez just because because we thought he'd take Gooch. Gooch got cut 2 at 5 under. And then my man Ricky and Phil, they had bad weekends. Ricky ended up at 3 over, Phil at 7 over.
I saw Phil hitting a dry that 2-wood video or is a small one. I don't know exactly what he calls it. It's basically that
he calls it a 2-wood. It's like the TaylorMade, except it's the Callaway version. It's the TaylorMade tiny head driver is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's a Callaway version of that. I don't know what Callaway calls it.
Yeah. It's probably a Rogue something.
He calls it a 2-wood. But it's a tiny driver.
Yeah, I saw him hitting one out of a bunker, which is outrageous. Basically hitting driver off the deck out of a bunker. That's just absurd. Absolutely absurd.
And then the guy that got talked about so heavily, the Dupree's, the 6'10" South African that averages 373 off the tee. He got cut at a smooth 8 over, finishing next to last.
Ew.
The only person that did worse than him was Jonas Blixt, who shot 16 over on the tournament. He was never in the tournament from the beginning. He probably was drinking on the 3rd round before being cut on Saturday.
Ooh, that hurts.
You know he had beer in the bag. There's no doubt.
No doubt. So one thing we want to talk about. So I went back and looked at it, and since the start of the season, there's been, I think, 2 tournaments. Only 2 tournaments where the winner was under 20 under. So every winner, and this may be relatively normal for the early deal, but scoring this year has been absolutely insane. And the two that were under, one of them was the Butterfield Classic, where it was like hurricane gale force winds.
You get the name right. It's Mrs. Butterworth's Classic.
Mrs. Butterworth's Classic. Like gale force winds in the Bahamas. And then the other one was the one Kokrak won. I think it was just a tougher course. But it's a birdie bonanza out there right now, man. Even par. If you shoot even par, you better just. If you shoot even par, you just go home.
We put that in the notes where we were talking about some of the things we were going to discuss. And I mean, is this a sign of 2022 to come, the low scores? Because I mean, when you got, how many years ago was it that you could say Pat Perez and Talor Gooch at 6 and 5 under got cut?
That's tough, man.
Like that's when you're that far under par, you should expect to be playing on Sunday. You may not be in the first group, but you should be playing on Sunday.
Yep.
Or the last group. You should be playing on Sunday. So we saw it with 3 people shooting 30 under plus out in Hawaii. Now you see, the winner here at 23 under, and it could have been, if he hadn't have played conservative on Saturday. I mean, he shot 8 under today. Hudson Swafford shot 8 under today.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a final round, man.
Yeah, Harris, he'll go deep on Sunday if you don't watch
Harmon.
him.
Yeah, Harris. Harmon also. Brian Harmon, the lefty, the shortest guy basically on tour, that's like 5'2".
Can't hit it out of his shadow.
Yeah,
And
he shot 800 today. And a matter of fact, what makes him look even shorter? You need to go when we get off this, you need to Google Harmon and his caddy side by side. His caddy's about 6'8" and he's about 5'2", and it looks very uncomfortable with the two of them standing on the tee together. It's very intimidating.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's like,
gosh.
Did he hire him to be both his security and his caddy? Like, the dude is huge. It
Yeah.
doesn't help that Harmon's like this tall.
Yeah, he's so
still.
tiny. So Nate just sent a text. He couldn't be here tonight. He wanted me to read this text. This is sort of talking about the tournament this week, but he wanted me to read this text out live on air. So here we go.
Let me see. Oh my goodness.
Here we go.
Live on air.
2022 is the year of Gooch, even though he just missed the cut.
Yeah.
A Gooch-tastic season full of Patrick Reed missing cuts, Talor Gooch winning majors, and Smiley Kaufman getting inside the top 600 in the world golf rankings. The birdie barrage of 2022 has just begun, but unfortunately for Ben, he probably won't be participating.
Oh my. You know what I am participating in, Nate? This actual podcast. That's what I'm participating in.
There you go. Kyle is down 10 pounds. Fact. Maybe this could also decrease the fat wedge shots he hits. Anyway, see you folks Wednesday for some diabolical scenarios. This text was presented by Betonline.ag. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Gotta love our guy, Nate.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So speaking of, talking towards Nate, let's go ahead and talk about the Talor Gooch situation that happened. First of all, he missed the cut. Okay. So, this didn't help him, but, there was a little bit of a, I don't want to say, I'm not just going to ball face say a little of cheating, but he definitely used a rule to his advantage when
he cheated.
I'm not going to say that because I like him. I'm not going to say that because I like him. But basically, this is what happened. I'm going to try to set it up. Ben, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. He's hit his second shot on a par 5.
Hold on. Before you get to that, the headline says, this lets you know he's cheated just from the headline. Pro moves ball 10 yards away from tree.
That's exactly what it said.
That's what it said. He moves it 10 yards away from a tree. Hey, I hit it behind a tree. Let me move it 10 yards. First down.
To clever use.
First down, Talor Gooch.
First down. Review it. Review the spot. No, so all right. So he's playing a par 5 and he hits one, I think, way into the trees on the right, and it's up under the tree. Okay.
Yep.
So like there is no shot. Like he cannot hit the ball, advance it towards the green. He would have to like turn it around left-handed, pitch it out sideways. It's one of those basically stymie lies. Okay. Mm-hmm. But here's the deal. Apparently on the line, if you drew a line from his ball to the green, there was a tent where they were doing scoring or they were doing something. It was basically like an official's tent. There was a tent on the line between his green between his ball and the green. Okay. Regardless, he could not. It was physically impossible.
It was a broadcast tent. I'm looking at it now. It was a broadcast tent.
It's physically impossible to hit it on that line. So he calls a rules official and says, "Hey, that tent's in my line." He goes, "Well, what about that tree right there?" And he goes, "Well, according to rules, blah 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 blah." And he reads off the rule.
Yes.
If I have a temporary immovable object in my line between me and the green, I'm allowed to move it until it's not in my line anymore.
That rule, let me tell you, by the way, that rule will be changed before the 2023 season, where it has a asterisk on it that says, not only does something have to be in your line between you and the hole, also
there can be no obstruction.
If there's an obstruction between you and that obstruction that is not movable and is not placed by man, then you have to play it as is. That's what it's going to say.
That could get kind of squirrely, but yeah. So basically they're like, well, you kind of got us whipped here. So we're going to give you a 10-yard. He moved it 10 yards and he had basically a free shot to the green after that. He got a free line to the green after being stymied underneath the tree. Did I miss anything?
Well, no, you didn't miss anything. Here's what gets me about this, because I read this and then I watched it, went on and YouTube to watch it to play out. The fact that he was able to move it 10 yards, not like directly back where he could go around or something.
He moved it closer.
Moved it close. So here's the thing that gets me about this and this rule. And I'm all for, I mean, you've seen when we play, I mean, it's pretty much ball in hand, all for winner rules. But I mean, in a tournament setting like this, I'm not big on, I mean, think about what pros can do. Think about what Bubba could say. Bubba could, you've seen the famous shot at the Masters that he bent it literally 100 yards. I mean, he could just about turn in any direction and say, that's in my line. And the reason it's in my line is because I plan on hitting a sweeping hook here. Well, the shot doesn't call for a sweeping hook, Bubba. Well, that's what I'm planning on hitting. And that's in my line. So
if
he
a
could
10, 10 or something like that.
Yeah, he could literally get relief from just about anywhere on the course that he wanted. And so
it does seem to, if it's not fixed, it does seem that it could open up again. Like it could really open up a can of worms because, I mean, there's going to have to be something done. They can't do it this year, but I think that definitely may have opened some eyes. It was like, wait a minute. Okay. Now, and not only that, I mean, basically you get to pick your lie out too. I mean, you can pick your line and basically pick your lie out and get you basically just, it's a get out of jail free card. If there's something in your line, if there's a, temporary immovable object. I don't think
birdie.
Yeah, he did. It changed it to where he made birdie.
As the announcer said, quote unquote, he snuck away with one.
Yeah, he was salty. He was salty about it. Look, it may not. I doubt it's going to be something that is going to happen 5, 6, 10 times a tournament. But I guarantee you, it's going to be something that caddies are going to be and players are going to be much more aware of. Where are the tents? Where are the
number one? Where are the tents, and what can you get away with? I saw this because I said it a couple of years ago and I made fun of him. Now I kind of feel bad for him, and I feel horrible for saying this. A couple of years ago, Fat Prick Reed he had a ball near the path, and he basically said, "I'm going to hit it left-handed, and so I'm standing on the path left-handed, so I should get free relief." And the tour official was like, "No, you don't have to hit that left-handed. There's plenty of room to stand right-handed and hit it, which is what you are supposed to hit. So you're not getting free relief." And he basically pointed out, not the rule, but pointed out somebody else in the tournament. He's like, "Well, y'all let so-and-so do it 2 days ago. And I mean, why am I not like, I'm clearly, if I'm going to hit it left-handed, turn my wedge around backwards, hit left, then I'm on the path. I'm entitled to free relief." And they would not give it to him. So he ended up having to just kind of punch out and take his medicine like all the rest of us golfers had to do. But then you see something like this and you're like, okay, I ain't a Fat Prick Reed fan at all. But the fact that 2 years ago, he was not allowed to do something like this. Like, you can't pick and choose who's able to get away with what.
Let me tell you something right now. You don't think Patrick Reed's going to walk into the next tournament with the tents mapped out? He's going to know every tent within a square mile of that place.
His shot book has actually got tents drawn on it. Where every one of them are.
Yeah. Miss here. Miss here. There's a tent here. You can move it 10 yards. He's going to have them all mapped out. Hey, so sneaky Talor Gooch. But,
that's Nate's not here to defend you, which is good because Nate would be like, "That's genius. It was so smart. He did what he's supposed to do." Yeah, he cheated, Nate. I'm sorry. When you listen back to this, he cheated.
Absolutely. You know what feels like cheating, Ben?
And he got cut.
He got cut. You know what feels like cheating, Ben? How much you can save and still
Betonline.ag.
No, how much you can save at Swannies.co if you use coupon code DadbodGolfPod-25. You take 25% off literally any order forever and ever till the end of time.
How about Swannies prediction this weekend on Instagram? Did you see this?
I don't think I saw it.
They took a live questionnaire. One of the questions was, "Are you sponsoring anybody in the top 100?" And they said, "Not as of yet, but our man Blaine Barber will be in the top 100 before year's end."
Wow.
They threw that out there.
Love it.
Prediction from Swannies.
Do it, Swannies. Do it, Swannies. Speak it into existence.
Yes.
The new line drops in March. So if you see something on the site now, you better go ahead and grab it because it's not going to be there much longer.
Nope.
Love them. Swannies.co. They gave us this T-shirt for Christmas. Red is for Sundays.
That I left in South Alabama, but
other cool gear. So yeah, show them some love. Swannies.co.
The hoodies. Get yourself a hoodie. It's going to be cold all the way through March. Go get a hoodie.
They love hoodie. They got great hoodies.
The best part about their hoodie is it has a collar thing, because that was one of my buddies asked me, because I said, do you have a hoodie yet? He said, man, I don't want to because the hoodie gets in your way when you're swinging. And I said, not at Swannies. They have this collar thing in the back that is not noticeable, but it keeps the hood from swinging around whenever you're making your turn.
Yeah.
So I say,
there you go.
You want to look cool. You want to be cool. You want to wear the hoodies like the pros do. Go to Swannies.co and pick out your hoodie and have it sent to you.
Top-notch engineering on their hoodies.
Kyle and I, by the way, love the silver.
Big
or
fan.
stone or whatever it's called.
Stone, yeah, whatever. Swannies.co. Love them. All right, Ben, there's an article that you found that talked about how a scratch golfer would fare against LPGA pros. We all hear this. You know, you've heard that guy. Guy shoots 70. He goes and shoots 73. He's like, damn, I could be stud on the LPGA tour.
Yes.
You know, that guy, I've probably been guilty of it. You know, if we could play from 65, 6,600 yards, we could be pros.
600 yards. If we maxed that at 6,800 yards, we'd be pros too.
There you go. Well, apparently there was some scoring comparisons, and it's not really that close.
It's not. However, here's my question. Kyle, I read this, and the first thing I thought is, and then I'm going to catch flack for this from my sister, who's a feminist, is how many of these dudes are legit scratch golfers? Because I know probably 7 to 10 guys that claim to be right around a 1 or a 2 or a scratch.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when I played with them, the picking up from 6 feet and a scratch from guys that play at local clubs and local munis, and even a good course like RTJ, when somebody claims to be a scratch here at Robert Trent Jones Grand National in Opelika, if you're not going to play everything down and you're not going to put everything out, then don't tell me you're a scratch.
Go ahead and add 3 or 4 shots to your handicap. Yeah.
Because if we're going to gamble, you want to put a little money on it, and then you don't want to give me any strokes. Okay, that's cool. So we're playing everything down and we're putting everything out. That's how that works, if you want to do it that way. And I have found that most times when we have done that, and the groups that I've played in, where I've played against a scratch golf, we played everything down, we put everything out, they've never shot anywhere close to even par.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. They showed on here. Derek Lowe, retired pitcher, his scores 76, 72, 75, 72.
I feel like that's really good.
That's
what course is this? What course are they playing?
I'm not real sure where they played this. Hilton Vacations Tournament of Champions. So
okay.
It's not Hawaii,
I did notice there was some.
I'm assuming probably Carolina or something. I'm not real sure.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, there was several celebrities playing in this. So
yeah, it was a celebrity thing. And then Sorenstam herself, Annika Sorensen, she shot 75, 73, 74, 72. She ended up at 6 over on the tournament.
Yeah.
And then Mark Mulder, another retired pitcher, same tee. They let them play from the same tees as the women did. They didn't have to go back. They didn't get to move up, nothing. Exact same tees. He shoots 77, 74, 80, 75.
Yeah. So Marty Fish is a really good golfer. He's a very good golfer. And he's probably one of the best, like when they have this, like all these celebrity tournaments, he's definitely one of the better ones.
He posts a handicap of +2. He's actually almost
a +3. Yeah.
He's a +2.8. Smoltz, John Smoltz, Braves legend, who is definitely, it doesn't say what his handicap. I think he's a +1. He's definitely better than scratch. He did shoot 77, 77, 79, 73. Yeah. And everybody talks about how good these golfers are, like you're talking about, like where they've seen them play. And I said, when I've watched that tournament that Smoltz plays in out in Tahoe that they do every year, that celebrity tournament thing they play that's on NBC, he's never shot anywhere close to even par. And he's always claiming that he's a scratch golfer.
Yeah.
Like,
well, so a lot of it has to do with like the slope of the course and
oh, I agree with that.
All that kind of
but
stuff.
But these guys also like Smoltz is playing courses further than 65, 6,800. He's probably playing 7,200 yard courses.
Yeah.
I would assume, just from what he's talked about, the people he's played with, and when he's tried to get on the Champions Tour, I would assume he is. I don't know. I don't know that for a fact. I'm telling you, a scratch at your home course does not travel well when you're playing in front of cameras and you're playing in front of people and you're playing a course that you're just not used to.
Yep.
I don't buy into that scratch mentality when they say that. I'm like, you know what? They probably on their home course. Look, there's a guy that I play with, and I have flat out, he's probably a scratch now. At one point in time, he was a +1 or a +2, and I've seen him shoot a 66. And he, unlike the rest of us rolling stuff, he does put everything out, and he did play everything. And he shot a 66. But when he's played not on his home course in one of our courses, it's 73, 74, 75. So
yeah. That's just normal though. I think if you played your course a bunch, if you're going to play better at your course.
No, I agree.
That's why I think it doesn't. Handicaps don't typically travel very well in general, especially if you play a bunch of rounds at one course. But another one of the things that they said, Derek Lowe says he's played with Nelly Korda before out there, and she outdrives him like 90% of the time. Yes. Like it's not just like you think these are just like like frail little petite women out there, and they're out there stud athletes. They're out there hitting bombs. They're out there pumping it close to 300. Some of them hit it over 300. And their wedge games are
their short game is
and
unbelievable,
and their putting is spectacular. And I'll say this too. I've always said this. I like to watch when I watch swings. Like if I want to pick stuff up from swings, I watch women's swings. And let me tell you why. Because they have to maximize all their motion. In other words, their fundamentals are absolutely flawless because typically they're lower bone density, muscle mass, all that stuff than men. Men can just go, overpower a ball. Women have to maximize their functionality and their swing and their mechanics. And so they typically will have some of the most flawless. I mean, Nelly Korda's golf swing. If you want to have a perfect golf swing, don't go watch Rory film. Don't go watch John Rahm film. Don't go watch it. Don't watch any. I mean, you can go watch, if you go watch Nelly Korda's golf swing and just and try your best to replicate it, you will have an absolutely flawless golf swing. I mean, that's just fact. That's just the facts of the case.
Nelly or her sister.
Yeah, either one. Nelly's swing to me is the best swing in golf. I could watch her swing. I could watch her hit an 8-iron for 2 hours.
See, I said that because she was playing at the time that I really got into golf, and when Tiger was first coming out, Annika.
Yeah.
I was one of those guys that everybody's like, oh, well, who's watching LPGA Tour? I'm like, man, if Annika's at the top, hell yeah, I'm watching. Are you kidding me? Have you seen her swing? It is unbelievable. It is flawless. Like she never misses a fairway. She never misses a green. And if she's inside of 20 feet, she never misses a putt. It's friggin' amazing. It's unbelievable. Like people don't understand how good she was because now that golf has gotten popular and she's gotten older, I mean, you saw her scores. I mean, she shot 75, 77, and everybody's like, oh, well, she's lost it. Bro, look how older she is. Like,
she's 51.
She would be playing on the Champions Tour if there was a Women's Champions Tour.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
But I say that to say this. That's why I don't like this argument, because I agree with you. Everybody goes, oh, well, I could play with them. Yeah, you could play with them if you played at your home course and they had never seen it. But let me tell you something about pro golfers, whether they're men or women, their handicap travels regardless of what course they're on.
Yeah. Like when they get to that level, when they're to that level, there is no handicap system doesn't work.
No.
When you become that good.
No, because when they're that good, they can play on any, they're looking at windows. They're looking at lies. They're not looking at the stuff that you're looking
at.
Exactly. They know.
They're not going. They don't look at it and say, I know I hit my 6-iron every time on this par 3, so I'm just going to hit my 6-iron. No, that's not what they're doing. No. When they go to a course, like you said, they're looking at everything, and everything they do is consistent. So it's just, I mean, I think it's dumb to even think. I'm just kind of shocked.
I just don't like the argument. Like if you're gonna, when the guys that say, "Oh, I'm a scratch, I compete with the ladies," I'm like, maybe on your home course you could quit making that argument when you show up as a celebrity and travel to their tournament to somewhere that they know that it's not going to happen, man.
No, it's not.
Because they also know little things, just details. When they ask, or when they're told, they don't even have to ask. When they're told, or when it's in their book what the greens are running, they already know what stroke they're using on the green. You don't.
No.
Like you and
You're
I
just
don't.
trying to hit it straight. We're just trying to put it straight.
I mean, you and I, even on a good day of putting, if somebody said, "Yeah, they're rolling a 12 today," yeah, whatever, man.
That means nothing to me. That means nothing to me. I'm just trying to defense it into a 2-putt every single time. I'm going to try to not 3-putt. It means nothing to me.
Whereas if you told one of them that, it automatically hits them. Okay, this is what I got to do. This is the stroke this is what I'm working on the practice green. This is what I'm going to take to the course with me. So I know that they did the article, to kind of generate some, I guess, to let you know how good the LPGA Tour players are. I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't seen them play, Kyle said it best. If you get a chance to watch them, I promise you they're good. And the people, the Nelly Cordes of the world, and the Sorenstams of the world, and the Lexi Thompsons of the world, and I mean, you go on and on. I said, I got the chance to go see Michelle Wee play down in Montgomery when they came through and played the Senator course down there. Number one, she's a superhuman if you've ever stood beside her, because a 6'2". I think they're doing her injustice. She looks like 6'4" when you're standing next to her. Number two, she's a super athlete. And this is somebody that just had a baby, by the way, and she's still going back out and now trying to play on tour.
Talking about Big Wheezy?
Yes, Big Wheezy.
Or Little Wheezy or whatever.
Poking it out there like 305. I'm telling y'all, you have no idea until you've seen it in person.
She still putts dumb.
She does putt dumb. It's still
such a dumb way to such a dumb way to putt.
It almost is one of those things where I love her to death, but it's one of those things that's like, just turn around left-handed. You got to be just as good left-handed. But still, people like that, the Lexis of the world that are poking it out there 290, 305. All you guys that think, "Oh, I'm a scratch golfer, I can hit it out there around 290." I promise you, your 290 is not the legit 290 that they're hitting it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
290 on the fly, checking up. That's a poke.
There you go. So speaking of women's golf, Danielle King wins the Tournament of Champions.
Yes.
So she shot 68 today.
Yeah, she's the one that played with. She actually on the first day, it looks like she played with Mulder or
no, it was the other one, Derek Lowe. Derek Lowe. She smoked Derek Lowe by like 15 shots.
Yeah, he shot 68, or she shot 68, 67, 69, 68.
Yeah.
He shot, as a scratch golfer, 76, 72, 75, 72. And the 272, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But he also finished 23 shots off of her pace.
That's pretty sporty. Luckily, I don't think he was one of the ones making the claim. But
no, and I don't think that he or
none of the guys
were doing this. I think they were doing this for the club pro champions that are claiming that they could do it. I don't think any of these guys playing with them, especially the former athletes, the Derek Lowe's of the world that have played at the highest level at their game, the Mark Mulders of the world, I don't think they were making that claim.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, that'd be like somebody showing up and going, "Oh, you can throw it 90? I can throw it 90. Like, I can throw it 90.
Well, there's the gun right there. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So the last thing we want to talk about, we'll go through this pretty quick. CBS has unveiled these like great, like big things they're going to add to broadcast, noticeable changes. They're supposed to soup up the coverage, make the coverage a little bit awesome. Let's run through this list and talk about what we think about it. New reinforcements is number one. That doesn't really do a whole lot for me. So let's just skip to number two because it's a whole lot better. But drones, basically they're going to have expanded drone coverage, tons of drones.
I love it.
What do you think about it?
I absolutely love it. I've loved the drones. The shots where guys are hitting out of a fairway bunker and the sand looks like it's about to hit the drone and the drone follows the ball all the way to the green. That is one of the most fantastic things in the world to watch on television, especially with how clear TVs are now. I mean, where you can literally see grains of sand where it looks like it's flying into your living room. I think this is fantastic. I love it.
My only thing about drones is they're not quiet.
No.
So you're playing golf and there's just going to be like hundreds of drones just buzzing all around you. I feel like that's going to be annoying. It's going to take
It
some
hadn't
time.
seemed to bother them yet. And they do a good job, like, of starting the drone back behind the player and then the drone like catching up to the ball after they've hit it. So I don't know that's going to be an issue, but that was when they had 3 drones on the course. Now we're going to have like one every hole. So it could be different now. We could see we may see some players get a little upset.
Yeah.
I still like it. As a viewer, I love it. As a player,
it's the coolest thing, man.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing. You'll definitely, the players will be complaining about that.
Yeah.
100%. Number 3, top tracer enhancements. Basically, they're going to have more holes and more shots with shot tracers. So it's not just going to be like, this is the Konica Minolta BizHub chop tracer hole. It's going to be multiple holes, multiple shots, like in the fairway, stuff like that, which is great because, I mean, you don't have to, I feel like it helps you can kind of reduce some of your camera angles. You don't have to have the guy that's tracking the ball in the air the whole time. You kind of can just sit on them and then have a guy at the, hit the shot tracer and then have a guy on the green to watch it hit the green. That's pretty much all you got to have. So that's good. Shot tracers are cool. I love that. A Boulder constant leaderboard.
Don't like it.
I don't really like this either. So, it's basically, it says that the hallmark of the early efforts of CBS is implementation of a constant mini leaderboard. They're basically just going to make the mini leaderboard more bold and more defined, so you can keep up with the action. Part of me likes it. Part of me thinks it's just kind of overkill, but
I think it's overkill. I mean, we, as golfers, when we watch, we pretty much know who's in the lead. The only time I want to see the leader, I honestly, I'm never really into that first page of the leaderboard. You see the tweet that got sent out, kind of the way they're going to handle this when they flash it over on the side. And those of you that get a chance, if you want to look at it, just Google, what the new leaderboard is going to look like for 2022. It's that second page of the leaderboard. The guys that, if they birdie or eagle, they're going to jump to the front page. That's who I want to see. I know who's in the lead. You guys are doing a great job of covering the leaders. We talked about that before with the tournament that I picked Morikawa, and I forgot which tournament it was. We saw him make one shot all day, and that was a putt on 18, and he ended up finished second in the tournament. I mean, how do you do? Like, don't do that. Show better coverage of players, not the leaderboard.
Yeah, there you go. All right, number 5, analytics-driven graphics.
For all the nerds.
I think that's do what now?
For all the nerds.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I like nerd stats and stuff like that. So whatever they're doing to help teach us more about the analytics and shot link data and stuff like that help us, learn more about the game. That's awesome. Number 6 is
it just needs to be dumbed down for the everyday golfer. Like I've said this about when they talk about so-and-so's ball speed, so-and-so's launch angle, so-and-so. And it's like, man, we don't have that equipment as an amateur to be able to use. So I don't have anything.
This is more, I think this is going to to be like strokes gained. Stuff like that.
That's doable. But the whole
shot link data. Yeah.
Yeah. When they start showing other stuff and it's like, I don't know what my ball speed is. I just know when I catch it good, it does this. I don't know. So I get you. Number
6, Colt Nost. They're adding him big time on course. I'm sorry, let me read this. The biggest golf TV promotion in 22 belongs to Colt Nost, whose on-course reporting with CBS is expanding into an every week endeavor. So he was just sort of a every now and then. So they want him there all the time now. So And Colt's great.
He's got his golf podcast, like we do, Subpar. I think it's super cool that on that podcast, his caddy is his partner on there. So that relationship, like we've talked about, goes on forever.
Yeah.
If it's a good relationship. So I think that's awesome. And honestly, I like his takes, man. I mean, I think the guys, I think his personality shows. You can tell that that's his calling, is being a broadcaster. I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked him as a golfer. He was a good golfer. He just wasn't somebody that was going to be at the top of the leaderboard every weekend. So he realized that. So he changed direction. So I think this is a good move for it. We're finding more and more in broadcasting, Kyle, and it doesn't matter what sport it is. But if somebody ends up being good, take the Tony Romo in football, or the Smoltz in baseball, or now Colt Nost in golf. If people know what they're talking about and they're entertaining, nobody wants them to be that cookie cutter, chiseled jaw, like looks good on the front page of GQ. Nothing.
They want
Colt.
A dumpy, relatable guy.
Exactly. They want somebody that's relatable. And honestly, if you listen to Colt, he doesn't overdo it with a bunch of analytics and like pro talk. He talks where as a everyday golfer, what he's talking about.
Yeah. I think his podcast helps with that. I think the podcast helps big time with that.
I think it's fantastic.
I got a quick Colt Nost story. Okay. So we went on a honeymoon after we got married, obviously, because that's when you go on a honeymoon. Anyway, we met this couple there.
First time, or which time?
The first time. We met this couple there, and he's from Texas, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm a personal trainer." I was like, "Cool," and he's like, "I do some, professional athletes, stuff like that."
Gosh, please don't tell me it's Colt Nost person.
He goes, one of my, you play golf? Yeah. He goes, I train Colt Nost. I was like, I don't know that's a resume builder, bub. I don't know that's what I would. I don't know if I'd lead with that.
You probably should have gone with like a Scott Stallings that does CrossFit every day, or a Blaine Barber or somebody.
Tell me somebody I don't like. Just name somebody that I should know that I don't know. Don't go Colt Nost, man, on your opening.
That ranks right up there with that time that when they were interviewing John Daly and he talked about his trainer doesn't want him doing this, and I'm like, what trainer?
Yeah,
there is no chance you have a trainer.
He said he trains Colt Nost. I was like, I mean.
That's free money.
Was it like only on every other Monday? Like, what do you do?
That's free. That is free money. That dude had the best job in the world.
Yeah. So I don't even really understand this last one. So we can just literally just glance over it. But it's apparently Amanda Balionis is going to have this futuristic new set. It's going to be like a green screen thing where she's going to be like, they're going to beam her on course, off course, but it's not really going to mess with the players.
I think this has got to be something that we just see to believe.
Gotta see it. Yeah, I got to see it first.
Reading it, and I looked at it and I go, wait a minute. She's there, but she's not there. And then she's still going to do face-to-face interviews, but she's still not there, but she is there, but she may not be there.
Yeah.
I'm like,
we're going to have to see it. Like at one point in time, I kind of felt like they were saying she's going to be on like a hoverboard, just floating around, appearing and disappearing and stuff like that.
Well, I'll be honest with you. The first time I read it, I was sitting there because she is either engaged or got married lately, one of the two. And when I first read it, I was kind of like, oh, so she just ain't working. She's just going to be in the studio doing all this stuff virtually. And then it was like, no, she's going to do on-course interviews. She's just going to be doing this as well, where she's virtual. And I'm like, okay, I guess you just got to see it.
We're gonna have to see this thing before we make a call on it, and we should. CBS, the Farmers is a big. Yes, I mean, I guess a lot of them are, but Farmers is obviously one of the big CBS tournaments, the first big CBS tournament, and that's this coming up weekend. So, should be a lot of fun. Guys, it's been awesome. It's like the old days. Me and Ben. Nate will be back for Wednesday. He's brainstorming scenarios for us already. Scenarios already. He's going to be seething mad at our Talor Gooch blasphemy. So
I just want you to know, those of you who don't know, we don't make it a secret. We record it the night before. By lunch tomorrow, Kyle and I are going to have so many dirty text messages that are sent to us.
I can't wait.
Talor Gooch deal.
Personally, I can't wait.
Funny. I know.
I cannot wait. It's going to be.
I'm just going to ignore him. I'm going to ignore him.
I'm not. I'm going to laugh and respond at all of them. So anyway, appreciate it, guys. Check out Primo Golf Apparel before we leave. They are the golf jogger juggernauts of the world. They have these awesome joggers. We talk about them all the time. We wear them all the time. Material is amazing. The fit is amazing. You can take 15% off your order by using coupon code DADPOD15, DADPOD 15. Keep the jogger movement going.
Friend of the program, our buddy that listens, Tommy, is at the club with you. He announced that he's
got a second pair.
He's got a second pair, and he went with tan. He even posted them online. He went with khaki.
Tommy came on the show. He was our first Friendship Friday, I think. Maybe our first ever Friendship Friday. So that's awesome. So, yeah, it's catching fire. Get on board. Primo Golf Apparel. Appreciate it. See y'all on Wednesday. This has been episode 128 of the Dad Bod Golf Pod, and we're always
stroking.